Hello, this is Zsuzsa from Nettle-Enthusiast. Today I have a chat with Dr. Debbie Moffatt, alias Mother Cloud, from Instagram. I'll try to invite her. I think I made it. Bear with me. There you go.
Hello.
Hello, Debbie.
Hello.
How
How
are
are you
you?
this? I should say, how are you this evening because of the time difference that we have here.
Exactly. It's the afternoon here where I am in
Yeah,
Hungary. I
yeah.
live close to Budapest and it's almost 4 p.m. in the afternoon. But you have all Sunday ahead of you, I
I
guess.
do. It's about 10 o'clock here, going on 10 o'clock here in Detroit, Michigan. And yes, our morning is just started. It's a very chilly morning here, though. It started in the mid 30s. So,
Is it? Is it?
yeah,
We did have
absolutely.
a lovely weekend this
Good.
weekend, all sunny. So I was out. I was shooting some new material for a new module that I want to add to my course, which will be
That's
about the
exciting.
roots.
That's
So
exciting.
I thought I would show you my patch
I would love to see
with
your
these
pet.
last rays of sunshine that we have. So I have
Yes.
it behind me. Look at that.
Oh my gosh, it is huge.
It is huge. It is huge. And
And
in the summer, it's like a sea of nettles.
oh my gosh.
And the reason why it's not so tall now, because I managed to have my husband cut it for me
Okay. So
in the
tell
late
me,
summer. So there was a nice regrowth for the leaves.
wow. So
But
tell me how you got into working with Nettle. I'm really fascinated that you do.
3 or 4 years ago, I had a small operation. And so when I was in convalescence, I turned to a book which was given to me by my grandmother years before. But you know, when you're okay, you just sometimes spark things.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
I was looking for something to gain my strength back.
Hmm.
So it was a book on herbs. And I was reading through and I came about nettles and I was amazed on how many benefits they give us. And I was surprised. And I said, okay, they are here behind my house. Why not start gathering
That's
it and consuming it? And that's what I did. And this summer, I decided to put this out to the internet. So I created this course, which is on mastermind.com. And I think it's the best for people who are willing or who have
yeah.
nettles in their proximity and would
Hmm.
like to know how to, gather, what to do with it when you get home, what kind of forms of consumption are there.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the part on the leaves and the seeds is in there. And what I'm working on is about the roots because it's root season. So
Yes.
nettles give us benefits all year round. So in the winter, all the potency will be in the roots, and that's what we are after. And then in the springtime, when it will be spring already, we will gather the leaves,
Hmm.
and then midsummer the seeds. So
Hmm.
there's all goods and all benefits in every season. So
Yeah,
I'll show
it's
you
an all around
what
great
I
herb. So while you're doing that, I want to let people know how you and I met. I had
yes.
actually done a post on Instagram several weeks ago, and Zsuzsa responded to it and was very excited that there was a post about nettle. And so we've had an opportunity to talk and chat. And I am just so excited to meet someone who really loves and is passionate about the medicine that we can get from plants. And nettle is not one that people typically will grow or dry or look at the medicinal values because of its name. It is stinging. And working with it can be a little difficult sometimes. Although I have read, Susa, that if people are really into loving their plants, that the sting is not quite as potent as it might be if you're just out there
Well,
doing that.
I
I
think
have
by
not
time you
yet
can
found that to
get
be.
used to it. However, when they are still fresh,
Yes.
there is a way to touch it, and maybe to collect it even without gloves, but I do have my gloves too.
Very good. I'm glad you do. I'm glad you do. So what are you going to share with us this morning? We've seen that beautiful patch behind you. Can you tell us what you're going to do with the roots that you collect?
Let me show you. So this is what I'm after this morning.
Ah.
So these are the stolons and the rhizomes that allow the plant to grow. So that's how this huge patch was formed, basically, apart from the seeds, that these expand under the ground. And these are still the nice leaves. So what I'll do is I'll take them home. I'll clean them. Obviously, there's some ground here and some mud.
Sure.
And then grind it, or can you still see me? Okay.
We can.
Or I will make tinctures out of it.
Ah. Now, do you dry the roots completely before you grind them, or do you make tinctures with live roots?
It's better. It's better, yeah, to
Very
make the
good.
tinctures without the water content in them. It will take a bit longer, but it's better, yes.
So let me ask you, this late in the season, are you still collecting the leaves and still making tinctures for the leaves, or are you only concentrating on the roots this late in the season?
I do, but only the parts where it has been recut and they are not taller than knee height. But obviously now the plant is kind of retiring. Maybe that's not the right word in English. It's retreating. So everything will go to the roots. So the best season for the leaves is obviously spring. But I still do and come out and because I really do love the fresh tea out of nettles.
The reason I ask is because we've had a very warm spring here. And so the nettle that I have in my garden, I actually harvested some today because it's still quite green and beautiful. I will dry it and, powder some of the, tincture some of it, to continue to use. As a matter of fact, we have our little green drink going on here. And this morning I put a little nettle powder in my green drink.
And what is in there? I wanted to ask you because I've seen your posts and I've seen that you're growing a lot of goodies. And I was assuming that you grow nettles too. Is that true?
I do.
What kind of things do you do?
I have a huge container that is almost 90% nettle, and because of the rhizomes, I have it contained because I don't want it to take over. I don't want a patch as large as yours, which is beautiful. But this particular drink is just a nice big handful of mixed greens. I added some nettle powder to it. I had dried and powdered some nettle last season. I still have some. The juice of half a lemon and fresh water, 16 ounces of fresh water. Throw it in a blender. I usually add a few ice cubes to it because I like it cool versus room temperature. And it's a wonderful, wonderful drink because the blending allows for all of the chlorophyll that are in the stems of the greens to be released much better than we can release when we chew them. And so that chlorophyll becomes a wonderful blood cleanser for our bodies. This is like a live food. And so, I have one every morning. And if anyone wants to talk about that, I'm sure that we can make sure that you have a way of getting in touch with me.
That really sounds like a fresh start in the morning that you do. That's a nice routine.
It's a wonderful way to start the morning. Yeah. I want to go back to the benefits that people can get from using both the leaves and the roots and everything. And working as a doctor in natural medicine, it's really important to me to be able to help my clients and the world at large to understand why people like you and I are such advocates for using plant medicine and understanding that so much of what people call weeds and they spray to get rid of is actually really good food and really good medicine. So I know that when you and I have talked in the past, you were telling me, I believe, that you love it made into a tea, and that you also make it into food items. I know some people will make just stir fried like a green. Have you prepared it that way as well?
Yes, my husband is Italian, and and he's also a very good cook. And when I was coming up with this new passion about nettles, he said, "Okay, in our tradition, there are lots of recipes
Yeah,
based on nettles. So they do grind it to pasta.
I
They
love it.
they fill the pasta with nettles, and they do risottos with nettles. But I
Oh,
think the limit is only one's imagination and
imagination.
creativity. Creativity.
I
Well, the
do.
easiest way to consume it, and which we do usually as a side dish for anything else, like with meats or rice. And it's really simple and best done from the tender leaves, the top third of the plant
Mm-hmm,
in the
mm-hmm,
springtime when they are really
mm-hmm.
nice and tender and fresh. And it's really easy because you just put it in the pan with some water. Just stir it a couple of times, and then you can um, put anything you want on it: oil,
Sure,
vinegar,
sure.
any dressing
Okay.
that one likes.
And it's really lovely because the research that's been done on nettle shows that it offers a variety of vitamins and minerals, fatty acids, amino acids. It's just an all around wonderful herb. Um, and whether we are consuming it in a cooked form or in the raw form or in a tincture form, it seems to do a nice job of retaining a lot of the anti-inflammation properties that have been ascribed to it, as well as what I love is that it can also be used to treat hay fever. I use it with a lot of my clients who had hay fever, and I said, you need to become well acquainted with nettle. And so
Yes, hay
I,
fever. Because as I mentioned to you before, in the beginning, I started consuming nettles to gain strength back,
mm-hmm,
and then as a side effect, uh, I noticed that my hay fever was also gone because I had been
yeah,
suffering from hay fever. So I'm happy that your clients as well had the same experience. I
yeah,
did
they
it.
absolutely
I
do.
did
And
as
I
well.
found that to be true too. I would every year for a short period of time would suffer with seasonal hay fever. And when I really started using nettle, which by the way, I take every day, I harvest enough, at the season so that I can make tinctures, and I take nettle every single day. And like you, I found that season over season, I was not being impacted by the hay fever. My husband suffers with it, so I've been giving it to him. And this year, for the first time, I noticed that he wasn't popping the Zyrtex as frequently as he had been before and was able to go outside and work. And that's because I sneak nettle into him every day, too. I do. So tell me and our listening audience about this course that you've created. I'm really interested in that.
Yes, the course is, it contains, of course, I thought it was important, whenever you gather something from outside, to
Hmm.
be 100% positive on what you're gathering. So it has like a
Absolutely.
botanical part where I explain how it looks like so that people um, they know what they bring home.
Hmm.
And then we, of course, speak about the benefits. So we list all the benefits that are scientifically proven, and some of the benefits are there is anecdotal evidence, but there are so many people who are saying it that I think it's only everyone has to try to find out
Hmm.
whether it works them or not. And then I give advice on how to forage for them, where to look for
Ah,
them,
lovely. Lovely.
how to not to get stung, and what to do if you get stung. And then when you get home, what kind of things you can do out of it.
Okay.
And not just from the leaves, as I mentioned, but also from the seeds that are really a powerhouse of all the good substances that you were
Absolutely.
mentioning before. And they can also be used on salads, on in smoothies, and in many forms in the kitchen. And what my plan is to bring this course to like a 360 degrees nettles, because there are so many areas where we use them. Also, as like cords or materials made out of it. Animals that can be fed with nettles.
Yes.
And there are some gardening hacks that I'm teaching as well, because
Oh,
the
lovely.
benefits from nettles can be used for other plants that we are growing in our garden. So it's really everywhere. We can use it in our lives.
How long is the course?
It's, for the moment, it's 12 modules. But as
Okay.
I said, I think I'll bring it to at least 15.
There's so much information out there, you know.
There is,
Um,
exactly.
for example, one of the things that I learned is that when you are harvesting the leaves, you can put the leaves like in alcohol and let the alcohol will pull all of the wonderful material from the leaves. You can use it as a toner, a face toner, because it's really good for firming up the skin. It helps with acne. Who would have known? And so the more we study these plants, the more information we have to share with the men and women that we work with. And I get the greatest joy, here in Detroit when I work with my clients to teach them new ways to use. So I'm really excited that you're going to be able to offer these modules that, because of the wonderful world of the internet, would be able to be accessed regardless of the time zone that you live in.
Exactly. Well, no part of the nettle gets wasted, I would say, because the worst case, you can put it, how do you say that? To compost.
Yes,
No?
absolutely.
But sometimes I
Absolutely.
do, like in the morning, I make my tea, and whatever remains, then I mix it with my shampoo and use it for my hair.
Yes. Just as a
So,
side note, speaking of hair, nettle can be blended with sage and rosemary, made into a rinse, and has been known to help with changing that gray in the hair if people don't want to go gray, restoring the color to the gray. So I have a client that's using that rinse that I just described. So I'm waiting to see what his report is in the next
oh,
3 to 4 months.
I'm
I'll keep you
interested too.
posted. I'll keep you posted.
That's great. And what are your plans for today, Debbie?
So
What goodies are
today,
you preparing? Are you?
so today, I've already been in the garden this morning and I've collected what I'm pretty sure are the last of the nettle leaves. And I brought them in and I'll shake them and get them clean, prepare them to dry. The other thing that I'm doing today is I have prepared an elderberry calendula elixir, which is really good for cold and flu. And it's full of wonderful things, honey and calendula, elderberry, ginger, and that is ready to be bottled. And so
Oh,
I will be bottling that today. Keep an eye for Mother Cloud 87 on Instagram because you will be able to purchase that in the next week or so.
that
And
sounds lovely.
and then today is Sunday, so I'll be preparing some wonderful foods also because I've also harvested the last of the green beans and tomatoes and other things that have grown beautifully in the garden over the summer. So here we are in fall, the greatest harvest season. And so I'll play because it's cool outside today, but it's a sunny day until the rain comes. So I want to take advantage of that before and sit back and really enjoy and feel the good feels that I feel from our conversation today. I'm really happy that we had an opportunity
I
to
was
connect.
really, it was a really pleasant conversation for me, and I do envy you that Sunday is ahead of you
As yours comes to
while
an end.
mine is ending.
I know, but tomorrow's another day and we'll enjoy that as well. So,
Exactly.
would you be so kind to post how people can reach you on Instagram, as well as how people can reach me on Instagram in case they have questions? They're easily able to get in touch with us. And if anybody is here watching in the United States and would love to have a conversation with me on how to continuously use nettle and other plant medicine toward their better health, I would love to have that conversation with them. I would love to invite them to a call with me.
Yes, yes. Well, of course, anybody can DM me if they have specific questions. I'm happy to help and share what I know, and we can share experience, because I also like to hear from others what
I
their
do too.
experiences are. And in my bio, as usually people say, the link for the course is there. So if anybody is interested, you can find it. But I'm always here and open to have conversations about this topic that we are so passionate about.
And I am so excited that you reached out. That just really made me happy, and it really validated how global we really are, and
Same for me,
how
same for me.
across
And
all
it's so
these
lovely
miles we
too.
can still help with each other and
We are
have a
so
great time.
far, but we are united
Absolutely,
through the plant
absolutely.
and through what herbs offer.
So is there anything that you want to close with today?
I think this has been a lovely conversation, and whenever the season will change, we might want to get back together.
I would love that. I would love that. I want to say hello to the people that have joined us. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I hope that you learned some wonderful things and are able to take advantage of the course that Zsuzsa offers. And definitely, if you have any questions about how to take better care of yourself, especially using plant medicine, please feel free to DM me as well. I'm at Mother Cloud 87 on Instagram, and you can also reach me at drdebbie87@gmail.com. Well, enjoy the evening, my friend, and I look forward to talking with you again soon.
Thank you so much for these conversations, and a big hello for all of those who have followed us, and reach out whenever you would like to.
All right. Thanks, Zsuzsa. Talk soon.
Thank you, Debbie. Bye.
Bye-bye.